Okay, if you're struggling starting the project, I thought I'd give you a little push. What you first want to do is you want to work on the paper, and you want to lay in your quadratics and your absolute value functions, because they're the hardest ones to fit in the maze. Okay, so I went ahead and just laid in a quadratic. We know this is going to be the basic function y is equal to x squared. So I could lay this in because I know that if I put the vertex here, if I go 1 to the right, well, it's going to have to go 1 squared down. So 1 down. If I go 2 to the right, it's going to go 4 down. And if I go 3 to the right, it's going to go 9 down. So you can see where I laid in the points for a parabola. And you can see I'm just showing you these are the ordered pairs that would go along with them. Okay, so you can see too that my parabola, I didn't make totally symmetric. It won't fit on the left side the way I laid it in. Only the right side can go down that far. So I just laid it in. Now, this is a quadratic. It's upside down, so we know it's going to have a negative on the front of the basic x squared function. It's also shifted to the right 60, so I know it's going to be that x minus 60 all squared, right? And I can see it's translated up 30, so I'm going to have to add on 30. So I can write the equation for this quadratic. And that's what the parabola would look like. But you can see that if I don't limit the domain, if I don't limit the x values, then my function goes too far to the left and too far to the right, and it will go into the black void part where I'm not allowed to go. So I'm going to limit the domain. That's what I do with the piecewise function. And you can see on mine, which yours will be different, that's fine, I'm going to go only from 56 to 65. And so I can do that. And I draw in my quadratic. So you'll sketch this sketch in. Okay? Now, I would draw in both of my quadratics, one going upward and one going downward, and both of my absolute values, one going upward and one going downward. And then I would connect each of them to the entrances and exits of each maze. So you can see that the entrance of this piece is 48,4. And then I just happen to end my quadratic at 56,14. I really am really hoping that you will end your quadratics at an a whole number. So on the paper, you can kind of see it's where the grid lines cross. It's much easier. Okay? So all I need to do now is write the equation for this line. And I know I can do that using my point slope formula. We did that in class. We said that step 1 is to write the slope and then to pick one point and to write the equation for the line, solving for y. So I wrote my equation for my line. And once again, you can see that it works great, but it went too far unless I limit the domain on each side. Now, if I limit the domain from 48 to 56, then it will fit in there nicely without going outside of my maze. So hopefully that will help you get going on your maze if you're having problems. You're welcome always to email me or to ask questions at the beginning or end of class. See you tomorrow.